All right, let's talk a little AB. Before we do that, subscribe to the channel. Most of my viewers are not subscribed, so hit the sub button. It doesn't hurt, it just helps. Hit the notification bell, that way you can get updated when I drop the newest content. And throw that thumbs up because that helps with the algorithm. With that being said, let's get into the video. Now, the reason why I held off on making an AB video last night is because I have made the statement that I am done with AB. Adrien Broner just is fucked up one too many times, and every time I like the dude. I don't know why. I've always liked him. Something about him I've always liked. Even though he fucks up, he's got something in his personality that I've always liked. However, I quit really supporting this dude, and I'm going to make a video about this fight. So against Santiago, here's the problem. Neither dude could make fucking weight. After the fight with Brian Custer, I believe it was, Adrien Broner was giving an interview, his post-fight interview, and he asked Broner where he was going to fight at, and Broner said 140. Well, wait a minute. You came in 6 pounds overweight, first off. That's where you fucked up. All right, secondly, I don't blame Santiago for coming overweight because he probably knew Broner wasn't going to make weight. So why make weight when you know your opponent is more than likely not going to make weight? Now, the results of the fight. Who did I feel won the fight? I thought Broner edged it out. I gave him actually 7-5. I saw the CompuBox numbers or the show stats. I think that's what they're called on Showtime. I don't put a lot of validity or weight into those, especially the body shots, because 90% of Santiago's body shots was hitting below the belt. I mean, he hit Broner probably 150 times below the belt, probably 50, 60 times in the thigh, probably another 20, 40 times to the nuts. Like, it was just ridiculous how many low blows he was getting away with. Then I also had to take into account that, yes, he did fall. Yes, he did get knocked down. Yes, he did a little weird split thing. But from the camera angle, the first angle that I saw, his glove skimmed the canvas. Now, regardless if that glove skimming the canvas helped him with his ability, or I said ability, with his balance, is irrelevant. I mean, he very well may have been able to stay up if that glove did not skim the canvas, but that's not the rules of the boxing. Rules of boxing are this. If your glove touches the canvas, you're down. I saw it skim the canvas. He should have been ruled down, regardless if it helped him stay up or not. That's just the fact of the matter. If that never happened in the fight, then I would have had it a draw. Personally, I thought it was a draw, but because of that, if I was sitting ringside, seeing how the referee did it, me personally knowing how I am, I would have taken one of Santiago's rounds and changed it to an Adrien Broner round because I felt like he was truly knocked down. So that would have been the way that I would have done my scorecard to make it make sense mathematically without a knockdown. So again, you get the same result. 115, 113 for Adrien Broner. Now, here's the problem with AB. Another problem. He doesn't let his fucking hands go. He has brief flashes in the pan of where he looks like the Adrien Broner of the past, where he looks like he could be good, but he's shell-shocked. Ever since he got his ass whooped by Maidana, he's never been the same. And I don't think at this point he's ever going to be the same. I don't care how long he was out of the ring. The ring rust had nothing to do with him letting his hands go. He just doesn't let his hands go. And the thing is, against a guy of low opposition like Santiago, you might be able to squeeze out a victory. I didn't agree with any of the scorecards. I thought they were bullshit. I thought it was a really tight fight. Like I said, had that knockdown, which should have been a knockdown, not happened, it should have been a draw, in my opinion. But, you know, the ringside judges, they gave it a landslide to Adrien, which I don't agree with. But again, even if the dude comes in at 140, he's not going to beat any of the top guys. A guy like Regis Prograis will knock him the fuck out. A guy like Josh Taylor will knock him the fuck out. I shouldn't say that. I don't know if they'll knock him out, but they'll hurt him because Adrian's got a pretty good chin. He can take a beating, especially when he doesn't throw punches. He's used to taking beating. He's like a moving heavy bag. But Ramirez would beat him. I think Postal right now would beat him without boxing because he just doesn't let his hands go. Any top 140-pound fighter, at least in the top 10, I think they all beat him. I don't know what happened to him. Like I said, he's shell-shocked. He's scared to let his hands go. And if you can't pull the trigger, you can't win fights. That's why Teofimo Lopez beat Lomachenko, because in the first 6 rounds, he didn't let his hands go. He was gun shy, or he was too busy thinking that styling and making Teo miss was winning rounds, and it's not. You at least got to let your hands go or you can't win. You have to land punches. You have to. There's only been one fight in the history of boxing where the guy didn't throw a punch and still won the round because he made the other guy miss so wildly. But that's not the norm. And even by today's standards, if you had a guy go in there, do some limbo shit, get out of the way of all the punches, he still would probably lose the round by not letting his hands go. The bottom line is you at least have to land a couple of more shots than your opponent to win a round. You have to. You have to let your hands go. Now, you don't have to throw as much as your opponent. If you're a really good counterpuncher, you can have a low throw rate, but a high land percentage, and outland your opponent with the counter shots. You could do that, but you at least, even in that case, have to let your hands go. And again, in that post-fight interview, he was asking Adrien Broner, are you going to take it serious? Are you going to start training, all of that? And then the first thing he said was, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to go pop bottles. Right after. See, bro, you ain't learned nothing. I understand that you need to have fun with your life, but you know what? You're on your last leg. You're on your last breath in boxing. You're not taking it serious. You didn't make weight. You just won a fight that a lot of people believe you lost. I thought you won, but barely, against a guy who shouldn't even been qualified to be in the ring with you. And the first thing you're going to do is go pop bottles. Like, you ain't learned nothing. And you gonna get beat and possibly stopped. I had to rethink because his chin's so good, but at the same time, if he gets in there with a program, Ramirez, a Taylor, and he doesn't let his hands go, he very well could get stopped. It is a possibility. It's not out of the realms of reality. So I don't see AB going anywhere. He looked really, really, really bad to me. Even if I take into account that he had ring rust, even if I take into account it's been about 2 years since he's fought, even if I take into account he hasn't won in a long time, the fact of the matter still remains. He was in there with a guy who wasn't qualified to be in there with him, and he looked bad. He looked bad. Real bad. I don't really feel a need to cover AB because, in my opinion, the dude's history and me being one of the last people who was supporting this dude, it's just a matter of time before he fucks up again. And I don't see the boxing skills. At least before, he had the skills to win. Now, I don't even see the skills. Everything that he used to have, he doesn't have anymore. Because again, I'll come back to what I said earlier and then in the video here. Ever since Maidana whooped his ass, he's been shell-shocked. And he just can't get over it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments section.